These are the worst games of 2013, according to me, Slasher JBC, and Whitey here. So, yeah, let's get on to it now.
Okay.
What a...
Oh, should I start? Okay.
Yeah, you go.
So, the least of the worst games I'm going to say today are, the first one comes to mind for me is Contrast. Don't think it's horrible. Do think that it lacks anything that actually drives a player to play the game. It is the definition of boring. I look it up in a dictionary, I see Contrast. It is just,
I think the fact that what makes it boring too is it's that the puzzles are kind of cool and the mechanic of the shadow stuff is neat and the world setting is neat, but it's so dead in between that there's not enough to pull you into those two components that just makes it boring, like really boring.
Yeah, it's just thin on content.
It's very short too.
Thin. No.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That was my real good joke. I was like so eager to say
we should have done it again. But I mean, it's short too. You can beat it in like 45 minutes. And for the price, that's kind of high. And then it's just and it's a little glitchy. I was playing it and I kept getting stuck, and I'd have to keep jumping, and it was looked like I was just and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I was done with that game pretty quick. Another game where I don't think it's awful, but it's definitely on the borderline of being bad, TMNT Out of the Shadows. Everything about this game was screaming, hey, we're Turtle fans, but hey, we're new to designing games because we fucked up. And that was basically it. And people actually went out of their way to tell me the combat system is amazing or better than Assassin's Creed or Batman. Right? That was my exact reaction. Like, what? Okay. Are you serious?
All right, that's just great. That's peachy.
It's just silly. Yeah,
I think my biggest deal with that game, and I didn't even play it very long, I just couldn't get into it, it just felt really rough. Like, it was weird because it looked good at times, and then it looked bad, and then like, what was with holding the bumper button and hitting one of the buttons to do moves? Ooh. The controls felt sloppy. It felt sloppy. The game felt sloppy. And TMNT, come on, we needed to come back, and you gave us nothing but a fallback or something.
Yeah, and I hear that you told me I should definitely try the Nickelodeon.
No, do not. Do not. We can add that one right on to the list right next to it. It's horrible as well. They tried to make it more like the arcade game, side scrolling, but it just doesn't have that oomph. I was bored. Ugh.
Okay, so both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles do not play.
No.
But I hear the cartoon's really good, so that's good. Okay, so next on the list is, let me get this out of the way because it's also on my disappointment list, but let's hear it here. Aliens. I don't think it's one of the worst games I ever played. I do, however, think it's one of the least polished, and by far we were lied to more than any other game, maybe since like Fable. It looks so good. It's, you know what it is? It's like you order a lobster and you get a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah, or you get a McDonald's fish burger, a fish sandwich.
And that's that. Oh, once I had that,
and you don't even get tartar sauce.
Talking about that, I didn't get any barbecue sauce on my chicken the other day. I was so pissed. But anyway,
I mean, the fact that they lied about it. This is what makes it sting. Aliens is a treasured icon. That movie in particular, not the whole. I mean, even the franchise itself is big, but the fact that the Aliens is probably looked at as the best movie in the entire series. Now, granted, you get the people that love Part 1, and I understand and respect why for the horror and the vibe. But 2 is fundamentally a lot of people's favorite and the pinnacle of the series, and it's an amazing flick. If you haven't seen it, please do.
Yeah,
if you enjoy it, and I grew up watching that movie all the time. I played the game and I enjoyed it because it gave me that feeling of revisiting the movie, which was neat because you got to experience it a little bit, and that's why I enjoyed it. And when I reviewed it, I didn't think it was as bad as technically these other people were reviewing it. But in all essences, it's just they worked on it for years. They lied to us about in the video footage of what we saw, and we didn't even see the shit they showed us. And it's just like, it felt like a game that was made back in 2000. Like, it almost felt like Duke Nukem. Like old school, not new school, and it didn't look like they made it look in the video. It was deceitful. And that just rubs people. Yeah, it's deceitful, and you don't do that. And, I mean, if it wasn't for Gearbox making Borderlands, I probably wouldn't play any other stuff. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it was betrayal, and I think the thing is that me and you both love the Alien franchise, and like you said, you get to revisit it. But to me, it felt like the quality of like Aliens Resurrection, and I'm just like, oh,
well, dude, I even liked
again.
I even liked Alien Resurrection, the movie.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
But,
I saw it in the theaters
but,
when I was like 9, and it was,
but even that's better than the game. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you get the forklifter. The pinnacle forklifter, and it's like you're just a robot jabbing, and it's
talk about that last fight too. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, and the DLC is no better. It really is. I mean, it's the DLC.
DLC?
Yeah, there was DLC that's some more story, and yeah, there is. So, and it's not much better. It's a little better, like story wise, and a little bit it's a little scary because you're sneaking around, no weapons, but at some points, but it's just Aliens. Thumbs down on Colonial Marines just because it's one of the biggest disappointments. It's not only one of the biggest disappointments of 2013. I think it's going to be one of the biggest disappointments in gaming ever because of the hype and the build-up and the letdown.
I totally agree. Like, fuck Duke Nukem, man. Aliens crushed my heart, literally. Next game. Okay, here's the two that literally just pissed me off. Before we get to my number one most, let's talk about real fast Army of Two Devil's Cartel. I have learned now never to ever trust a game with the word fucking cartel in it. Because this is the second game I played.
Oh, don't mention the other one. Please don't even talk about that
I'll
one.
mention it. Call of Juarez, the cartel.
That was even worse, I think.
Oh, that game. Woo! Man, that driving section, the graphics, holy shit. Anyway, Army of Two, Devil's Cartel. It's not that it was the worst game I played. There was nothing worth mentioning. There was literally nothing good about it, but there was nothing horrible except for the story was really bad. It was like really cheesy bad. I would say what was really horrible, what really pissed me off were the glitches. I don't know if you got them, but the very first thing is the training, and I got stuck in a fucking wall, and I'm just like, holy shit, can this get any worse? And it does get worse.
I didn't get that. I got the floating heads with the floating guns. And no body. It was just their head and a gun, and it was just floating, and their body was missing. Yeah, I got that glitch.
What the fuck?
That was.
Well, I didn't get that, but that's pretty bad too. So overall, this game was shit.
It was a game that if you didn't have somebody else to play with, which you didn't, you would probably be bored. Of course, co-op actually does go a long way to help people enjoy games, and I played through it and I enjoyed it. But I would say compared to probably the other games, I probably I don't know what I'd say is my best. That franchise is fun in a very it's a guilty pleasure fun. It's not a great game by any means.
Yeah, none of them were great.
Yeah, but they're just
1 and 2 were decent. This
one dropped a lot of the humor, so that kind of killed it. So there's a little bit of it in there, but they went for more seriousness, and I think that kind of really.
Yeah, I think Drake was in there.
Well, don't
or some rapper.
No, I wasn't in there. Next game.
All right. So, okay, here's my number one. Number one. Woo! Yeah, those are drum rolls. I don't know, I can't do them. But number one game is Dark. Wow. I like vampires.
I do.
I like vampires killing people. I like stealth.
You like gothic stuff, right?
I like gothic stuff. I like all the stuff that Dark has. And you know me, I played some pretty low budget. I liked Game of Thrones, okay?
He did.
Last
He's admitting
year.
it now.
I fucking liked it.
Oh my god, I'm leaving the call.
No, you can't leave.
Okay, I'm not leaving.
No.
Okay,
but seriously, Game of Thrones had some really, really poor graphics and some really, really shoddy gameplay, but I really enjoyed the story. That's what got me through it. Dark, I don't know. It didn't have anything, really. Like, the story was interesting, but the voice acting sucked.
Yeah.
So bad. Like, wow.
I think the problem with the game, because I reviewed it and I said, I enjoyed it, but I mentioned I don't think it's the worst game I've ever played, because God, we've played so many games that are just absolutely bad. But damnation. But we gotta mention that in every video we do.
Always in every fucking.
And I mean, it's just the thing is it had a nice kind of look with the cell shading, and it kind of had a neat environment, but there was no point to the dialogue trees. There's no there's no point. The abilities you get. You only used 1 or 2 that were worth a damn. The rest were shitty. And all you did was the same thing over and over again. It was like sneak behind people, kill them, hide, die a lot, die some more, die. I mean, it could have been so much more. And did you know there's DLC for that just came out?
What?
Yes.
fuck?
Uh-huh.
How are these companies still around?
I don't know.
Dark, real fast before we get to your list. The thing that confuses me most about Dark is that if it has all these great ideas, and apparently this company, from when I talked to them, they've been working on this for 4 or 5 years, like 2 years, they said. What happened? Why didn't no big publisher pick them up? I mean, vampires are the biggest thing right now, well, next to zombies. So I'm sitting here playing this game like, there is not a fucking vampire game that's amazing, and this could have been.
The only vampire game that I ever hear get talked about a lot is the the Bloodlines, the PC game that was like the Fallout game on PC.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, and I've heard good things about that, but that's probably the best one. I mean, every other thing, like even
Legacy of Kain was
well,
pretty awesome.
but I mean talking just like, you know, more like vampires in our time, or vampires.
Yeah.
Even the Blood Knights game I talked about isn't that great. It's like a Diablo game. It's okay, but I don't know why we have not had an amazing, outstanding vampire game like.
Which is a shame, because we have plenty of zombie games that are good.
Oh, yeah.
So what the hell?
Yeah, it's just it's not been refined yet. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that's my number one game that just super shit in my opinion. I mean, it's not, like you said, it's not the worst game. I played worse. I can name off the top of my head Sonic 06, Iron Man, Damnation, right off the top of my head, are all worse.
Quantum Theory.
Oh man, you had to remind me of that game.
Sorry.
That was
It's
literally
a Japanese Gears of War.
Oh, it was a race for my mind. Oh my god!
I just brought it back.
Remember that? That game sucked, dude. The enemies were so fucking cheap.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, I hate that game. Okay, anyway.
But I think Dark gets your banjo of shittiness. Okay, I'm done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what it gets for this year. So that's my number one. But let's talk about your three, because these three games are so bad that I have never even fucking go near, because I hear they're that bad.
Okay, well, you talked about one of them, which was was Aliens I had on my, unless I'm missing one.
Yes, no, that was
one of them. So we had Aliens, right? So, all right, the next one is Fast and Furious Slow Down.
Now, serious moment. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Yes, definitely.
No disrespect. Actor's amazing.
Yeah, but we're talking about this game. This game was horrible. It tried to throw like the stories or the different settings and story moments into one game, and it just it was like some horrible arcade game gone wrong. Like, it's just so bad. And then there was like platforming segments. Like, your guy.
What?
Yeah, there was a part where like he'd jump out of the car onto this like tanker, and you had to scoot him over, and then you had to hit the button to get him off or something. It was
you know what that is?
What?
That's what I call Wheelman syndrome. Remember that game?
Oh, dude, I know you hated that game. No,
I hate that game.
Worse than Wheelman. Trust me.
I cried, because they wouldn't give me a refund. I'm sorry.
This game is way worse than Wheelman. It's just and it's sad because all the Fast and Furious hardcore fans, they're gonna buy it because it's got the name on it.
Yeah, did you buy it?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
I don't remember, to be honest. I hope I didn't. Oh, God. I hope I didn't. If I did, I better have done it with trade-in, because if not, I won't beat the balls in right now. So, so the other game, you guys ready?
This one's pretty obvious. I think it's going to win the worst game of the year on most sites. But
yeah, it is Ride to Hell. OMFG. This is a game that was, I guess, in works for a while, and it was made by that company.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. And it got delayed, and people thought it was going to be, like, they weren't making it. It was originally supposed to be like an open world game. And yeah, and the guys that make the NASCAR games, I guess, worked on it, and they should stick to fucking making their NASCAR, because it's just horrible. Like, there's these terrible, like, okay, you would think, remember Road Rash, and in Road Rash you'd have the bike and you'd be smacking people with your chains and you're punching them, and that was fun. And they had moments in Ride to Hell and you're thinking, okay, it's going to be like Road Rash, and that's not something that would be that hard to mimic. Well, what do? They fucking throw every encounter when you're on the bike, in that sense, is a quick time event. There is no actually hitting the button to bash the shit out of somebody. No, you gotta hit the prompt that comes up to fucking knock them over. Like, that's super fun. Then you got the third-person shooting parts, which the aiming is abysmal, and the running animation is sucky, and it's just, the same stuff over and over and over and over again, and then you get the shooting parts on the bike, and then you got a part, I was live streaming this, folks, and I kept dying at a part where these things were shooting me, except I wasn't dying, and then the screen was going black and white, and then my character was just going everywhere, and then he just blew up. The whole bike just blew up, and we're like, what the fuck just happened? What? Ride the hell indeed, it just fucking blew up. Like, it's...
man. I gotta play this game.
Dude, I don't have any words. It's just... I don't know. I think it probably is the worst game this year.
Shit, that does sound worse than Dark, and Dark's pretty bad.
I do have another one that's pretty bad, I think. It's just, it could have been better, and it's just not. And it's the new Adventure Time game. The I Don't Know.
Because that shit looks so boring.
Here's the deal. If you like Adventure Time, cool, but this game is basically a gauntlet. It's I'm talking like Nintendo Gauntlet. Like, you run around a dungeon, you gotta find an exit, you gotta destroy the mounds of bones, and get out. And you know what? If you want to play that and get into it, it's cool, but I don't know, it's so dated, and when you put a game that's that kind of gameplay, so basic, and old school of like Nintendo, old Gauntlet style, and you're charging $40 for it, that should be like a $10 game at the most. Like a downloadable $10 game, because the thing is the only thing that's changing is occasionally the levels, after you get so many floors in, the levels look different, like there's an ice level, there's like different dark dungeon level, basically the template of the dungeons change, but the layouts are all randomized, so you're going through floors, and then there's bosses like every 10 levels, which those are pretty cool, but it's definitely, it's such a disappointment, and I actually liked the Adventure Time game that came out before that on the 3DS, the one that was kind of like Zelda 2. I heard that was really good. Yeah, I actually liked it, but it was short. But I still have. I think I still have the Adventure Time game. I bought that one on accident, thinking it'd be good, and
When I saw your little video, and I was just like, this looks insanely boring, and it looks like an arcade game, and I was just like, hell no. So I didn't even have to play that.
I mean, if you're into that genre and you really just love old school Gauntlet, but if I know half the people these days out there, that's gonna bore the shit out of them. Like,
people don't even like Knack, and that's like from PS1 type gameplay. They're not gonna like NES.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder how people nowadays would get along with games back in the day, like if that's how games still were. I don't know.
I guess that's why gaming is more popular nowadays.
Yeah.
Because, or at least amongst the little kids, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, is there any other games that came out? I'm looking through a list real quick. Is there any other games that came out that we just absolutely thought were poop?
I have a couple, but I'm saving them for the disappointment because I didn't think they were terrible. Games like, I shouldn't even spoil it, but...
Just spoil one. Just give a taste.
Well, I know one for you, and I know one for me. For me, it was God of War, and for you, it was Gears of War.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I would say those two are probably our biggest disappointments. Well, not biggest, but they're ones that are noticeable this year.
Yeah.
But I have I don't really have that many disappointed this year, which is great, I guess, in a way. But the ones that I do have are kind of interesting. But we'll get to that when we get everybody in the room.
Yeah.
But the worst games, I mean, these are the ones that I remember playing. I could have played something so bad that I actually
remember them.
Yeah, like I took it out of my brain.
I don't think so, because you kept Aliens in your brain, and that was back in February.
I mean, but like Quantum Theory, that snuck out, and then you had to remind me.
I'm sorry, but that was years ago, so
yeah.
I could have reminded you of Crysis 3. Oh.
No, but see, I know.
I know. Just a disappointing game, but
Quantum Theory was some fucking awful shit, Yeah. That was bad. But yeah, that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
Nope. Tim Tubbly Tooby Doo. I don't got nothing else to say.
I don't know what you said.
I don't even know what it means, so we're good to go on that end.
So that's it. Those are our worst games of 2013.
That was the worst games of 2013.
That's going to be our exit. That's perfect.